Well, even though the market is super hot, you still want to put your best foot forward. That's why she said she was waiting because she knew that she was going to be listing it as soon as it was ready. You only have one chance for a first impression. And once you put your home out there, if the photos aren't great, if it's not staged, if it's not updated, the buyers see that. And then so if you go back and you take the house off the market for a minute or do it while that's going on, the buyers have already seen your home. They already know the address. They will click right past it and won't even look at the additional photos because they say, oh, we've already seen that one. And all they remember is, we've already discounted that one, so I'm not going to waste the 5 minutes to see what new information is out there. So
even if it was something as simple as paint color.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. So it's important that the house is neutral. It's important that it's updated. It doesn't mean you have to do a $100,000 renovation.
Sure.
If you do minor, sometimes that's enough. Updating your flooring is huge. Making sure that everything is bright and clean. Whether it be something as simple as making sure that your drapes have no dust on them and they're washed and wonderful. Making sure your baseboards are clean. Doing any paint touch-ups that are necessary. But sometimes we just get used to things and we know that the flooring needs to be updated, and it's such a it's so tempting to say, well, in this market they're going to buy it. Well, that's true, but there's a completely different aspect when the buyer comes in and says, okay, well, this house is okay, obviously we're going to have to clean, and we've got to fix that, and we've got to fix that. As soon as they start saying, well, I've got to update this, and I've got to start cleaning this, their mind is not, especially if there is multiple offers, things like that, they're less likely to go into a multiple offer situation. But if they're already objecting, there's a completely different offer that buyer is going to give rather than when it is staged and when the seller has taken the time to do the updated painting and to make sure it's clean and presented in such a great light like Shelly always does for me. And so those buyers come in and say, this is it. This is the one I want. And make sure your husband, wife, this is the one I want. Please get this house for me, no matter what it takes. Partially because it's so beautiful, but secondly because if you've done that and you've taken the time to have Shelly stage your home, it means that you actually care. You're more likely you're presented in a light of the maintenance is probably updated. The buyer doesn't have as much to worry because if you took that much effort into putting your home on the market,
preparing it for sale,
they're not going to have as much to worry about when it comes to requesting repairs and inspections. So there's an immediate, and it is true because if you have staged your home and you have done those little updates, there's a good chance you've done a lot of the repairs. So the buyers are willing to come in with a higher offer when they don't have to try to overcome things.
I know we've had great conversations. We agree that it's always a valuable update when you are thinking of selling your home to paint and to do your flooring. I mean, those are, to me, the two most important things you could do to prepare your home for sale, besides the deep clean.
Definitely.
Because,
definitely.
I mean, to your point, when
change your air filters, people. This is not complicated.
It's true. It's little things, but those are two things that. My goal, and I know we've had this conversation, so I know we think the same. I'm never going to ask someone to spend $1. They're not going to make $2. That's the goal. And so it is hard to get people to understand that, but even things as simple as paint color. Half my job sometimes is to neutralize, because burnt orange may be your favorite, but people...
And it will be great when you move in and you choose to do a paint color on that wall.
There you go. But it's really hard for buyers to overlook those kind of things. definitely, if you're thinking of selling your home, flooring is a fantastic update. You want to go something neutral.
Yes.
This is where having a great agent and a stager, decorator can help you pick some of those colors.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, if you're going to sell, you want to go for what the buyer market
Yes,
wants right
very
now,
much so.
not necessarily your personal taste. So that's where I think we help temper.
Save your personal taste
Yes.
to your next home.
Yeah, we help temper and just create a neutral palette.
You can have zebra print walls
Yeah.
in your new house.
Yeah, we want 15 buyers to love your home and walk in and fight for it. So it is
Yes.
important to look at some of those things. Well,
It's also very important to remove any personal family photos.
yeah,
Unbelievably important, because buyers will come in and immediately turn their backs to the living room or the kitchen where you're wanting them to say, oh honey, do you think our couch would fit here? Or what if we put a chair right here? Whatever that may be. Another thing that's brilliant with staging is they can already see the best way to put their furniture, so it eliminates those questions. But when you have a personal family photograph or a wall of them, they immediately turn their backs to the room and they're doing this instead. Oh, don't I go to church with them? They look so familiar. If I have a decoration on my front porch that's OSU, they're already kind of making fun if they're OU fans, or
Yeah.
vice versa. If
Right.
an OSU rock or whatever decoration it might be, the OSU fans, their conversation should be about, I really like this neighborhood.
okay.
Well, and
Cool.
even with staging, it doesn't mean that it has to be a complete, everything you own has to be out. Sometimes Shelly comes into my clients' homes and says, you have absolutely beautiful furniture. You do need to downsize on these things, you need to remove these things, but we can use all these pieces.
Right.
And sometimes it's about moving furniture around in a room,
Right.
and it's amazing. And then I have clients walk in and say, Martina's family, and she said, I can't believe how big my bedroom looks.
Yeah.
It felt so small before.
Right.
And Shelly just went in and with her amazing eye just took it and moved some things around and put a new bedspread on and put some artwork in the walls in the correct spaces,
Yeah.
but was able to use all their own furniture
Yeah.
and some of their own decor, and it just made the room look twice as big.
Yeah, that's the goal with staging. It's not always, I think it can be scary to some people, oh my gosh, this is our furniture, we want to live in it, right? Because some people are still living in their home while it's for sale. I'd say the bulk of people. But you're right, there's a lot of clients who have great base pieces that we can work with, which A, helps control the cost, and B, sometimes it's just moving that furniture around to help maximize
Right.
space.